Boys and girls, today we want to take a deep dive into the Paradise Lost guitar tone, the guitar tone of their latest release, the re-recording of the legendary Icon album, one of my favorites from the 90s. And we want to do that with their producer Gomez, who is known for working with bands like Mayhem, Opeth, Ghost, who has just mixed the latest single from Behemoth. He's going to walk you through all the details of that guitar tone. Now, these days, when you work with bands as a producer and mixer, they very often not only send you DI tracks, they also send you a guitar tone that they created, either as a reference for you so you know where they want to go sonically, or even for you to actually use that guitar tone. And I think that's a good thing. And instead of just sending DIs, why don't you show your producer how you want to sound? And this is what happened with Paradise Lost as well. So Gregor McIntosh, the guitarist, came up with a guitar tone he liked. He sent it to Gomez. And Gomez, I think, did the right thing. He didn't just replace that. He kind of preserved that guitar tone and took it to the next level. By using a certain reamping trick, he came up with another pair of rhythm guitars, a different tone, blended it, and just made things sound bigger. And this is what you are about to watch. This is a chapter of the latest course inside my Academy Cola Audio Cult, which is called the Paradise Lost Mixing Ritual, where Gomez walks you through the entire mix of Paradise Lost's Ember's Fire. And the course also includes the original multitrack, so you can mix a Paradise Lost song yourself. And if you upload it until October the 1st, you can even get a personal mix feedback from your favorite Ball German. How cool is that? Now, let's jump right into the course and have a look. I'll be back later in this video to annoy you a little more. Gomez, please take over.
Now, guitars. Greg sent me his guitars, which I thought they sounded pretty cool. They sound like this. So I think overall it's a pretty cool tone. For me, it just felt like bear in mind this is also going to a different bus now. They sounded a little, to me, sounded like a little bit on the fizzy and like plasticky kind of vibe, a bit harsh and not a bad sound at all. Greg, for this, he used the STL tones. I just wanted a bit of like more like life into it. So I got the DIs and I did some reamping. I used 5150 EVH3, 50 watts, I think they are. And it's the EL34 version. Mesa Boogie, cab, rectifier, 57, going into a TG2 preamp, driven quite hard. I really like that preamp a lot. It adds harmonics and it doesn't fart out as quickly as some other preamps do when you're driving them, I think. When I'm tracking, I try to get a lot of color on the way in. I wanted this to be a super colored record because the original super colored in that kind of 90s way. So that's why there is so much going on. And it's all very analog, very vibey. It's not a clean recording. It's not a clean mix. So I reamped the guitars. I used that technique where you phase reverse the eyes going into the amp. It works really good. And this is the reamped guitars. Super cool sound as well, but I was just missing a bit of mids and a bit of like life, for lack of a better word, and combined they sound like this. If I take the reamps out, it sounds very scooped to me in the mid, so I think it's nice to have those. I usually don't EQ distorted guitars that much. So that's Greg's guitars. And my guitars reamped. They had a little weird something here, so I cut that out. I've always struggled with Kempers, with plugins for guitars, because to me they sound 2D somehow. And I always found that when maybe not so much anymore, but a few years ago, every time I had something with Kempers or coming from plugins, I always felt the guitars were too loud or too quiet. I never felt like they sat on the mix for me very well. I really like getting sounds out of things, and I think it was more fun just to go and get a cool sound that would blend with this sound than just using lots of EQ. So now we can move on to my guitar bus, which is one of the other buses that I use. My guitar bus is my Massive Passive, doing a tiny bit of 820 hertz and a tiny bit of 1.5K. It's quite subtle. It looks like a lot, but it's really not. And that goes to the Rupert Neve Designs MVP, Master Bus Processor, because it was just there. And I thought, why not? So it's compressing a bit, but it only compresses when too many things are getting summed into it, like when the leads and the cleans start summing up with the rhythm guitars. Then you start seeing a bit of gain reduction, which is kind of nice because it does kind of gel things nicely. And the other cool thing about that processor is it's got the silk switch. It's like 2 different tones, and it can be really useful for like, oh, I want like some kind of brighter guitars, use silk. Oh, brighter. And they have another one that's kind of smoother. They have 2 modes. I haven't read the manual on it. I just push buttons in it, and it's like, okay, sounds cool. So yeah, that's essentially my rhythm guitars. I do use the classic C4 on the low mids for this kind of stuff, just to clean it up. That's a classic kind of Sneap C4 thing that I stole from his forum 200 years ago. Actually, a lot of cool people came out of that forum, but that's another story. Some filtering on both, like a little boost on Greg's to get more of that of the attack of the string, and a bit of a cut here on the reamped guitars because it's kind of weird. And that's going to the guitar bus, Massive Passive, Rupert Neve, bit of compression. And with guitars, I always have, with my rhythms, I have a saturation bus with them. So I send a copy of both. Again, like with the drums, it's like a submix, like a parallel mix. And I really like this thing for it. Like I actually want to buy the real thing of this. Vertigo VSM3. It's like a harmonic distortion box, but it's super flexible. This sounds like this. So again, it's like a subtle thing. I like it more for like the attack. So if I take it out, again, it's subtle, but there's a little bit more like the attack and the high mids. And this guy goes to the mix bus as well, so nothing crazy there. With the rhythm guitars, I forgot to mention, they're both going to the bus that I just explained, but they're also going to the wide bus, which I haven't talked about yet. So the wide bus is a thing that Michael Brower does in his method. I know very little about it. I just kind of, someone showed it to me, I started doing it, and I kind of liked it, and that's it. And I just made my own version of it. The wide bus, I'm just using this crane sound compressor, doing slow stuff, nothing extreme. But on the Busmaster, the cool thing about this desk is when you have it, all the stereos, the pan pots become width pots. So everything that goes into my wide bus, when it comes to the wide Busmaster here, it's pretty open. It's not fully, like a spatial spread thing that throws it out of the speakers. I can show you how the guitars sound just going to the guitar bus, and then I can show you how they sound going to the wide bus and then together. So this is just the guitar bus. And if I add the wide bus, you'll feel if they're a little bit wider. instead of sounding like the guitars are coming from here, it sounds like there's a little bit kind of coming from there. And I like that. By the look of it, they're also going to the low-end bus. So the rhythm guitar is actually going to 3 different buses, 3 different flavors. So yeah, lots going on, plus the saturation bus. That kind of vibe.
I hope you enjoyed this little trip into the Paradise Lost mixing ritual. If you want to see more, if you want to watch the entire course, please check out the link below to the full course. It's, I think, 2.5 hours of pure Gomez and Paradise Lost fun, really nerdy stuff. Again, it includes the original multitrack, so you can mix a song yourself, you can upload your mix for a mix review. Once again, because people don't really understand that, you can either get the course, I think right now it's the intro price of $66, or you become a Cola Audio Cult member, which includes all our courses. And it's a lot of different courses. You can mix a lot of songs from hard rock to black metal, a lot of cool stuff, including the Nolly drum recording and mixing course. And of course, you become like a member of a very nice community. So think twice. Either just get the course or get the membership. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Gomez. Thanks to Paradise Lost. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring the bell, leave a comment, let me know how you like this video. Say hello to Gomez. I see you in hell, motherfuckers. Bye-bye.